Hey everyone, it is Erin with Upkeeping. I thought it would be really interesting for you all to have the behind the scenes sneak peek at how I review our team's work and my internal upsync is what I call it, of just looking at the data that our time tracker is now producing for us. So if you watched an earlier episode, you learned that a few months ago we started time tracking. Even though we are a flat fee and we charge our clients one fee per month, this is helping us to know whether we are charging the right fees and really understanding the amount of work and the scope of work that our team is focusing on. And then for me as the leader, where my efforts are being most used. And so the goal with hiring a team is to do less in upkeeping and more on upkeeping. So more of the biz development, more of the networking, more of the sales, and maybe even not the sales at some point. But the data that we are starting to get and I'm starting to review on a weekly basis is incredible. And so what I'm doing at this moment, we're using Clockify. I would love to hear what you all are using. We're using Clockify because it's what our newest hire used before. And so her first project was to implement Clockify for our entire firm. And it's been awesome to have everyone on board for this. And when I say time tracking, I want to put a caveat. This is not down to the 5-minute triggering feelings that you might remember from working in corporate or at another firm. This is really, I've been telling our employees, track to the best of your ability. This is not life or death. This is going to help us make better decisions, charge what we are worth for our services, and really just something that we can celebrate and just know where all of our efforts combined are going. And so with all of that, what I have been doing is taking that data and plugging it into ChatGPT. And so I'm taking a detailed summary of our Clockify weekly time entries. So just a quick note that this is going into our paid subscription of ChatGPT. So I'm actually going to read the prompt that I give ChatGPT. And it says, based on this detailed report from Clockify of me and 3 of my team members' information, give me 10 insights about how we worked last week, including how many clients we worked on, the total cost of the work, because I do have rates assigned to each team member and I do have a rate assigned to myself as well, and any other insightful insights. And so with that, I copy and paste the detailed time report in with that prompt. And what I am getting is, first of all, the total hours worked last week, which was the first week of January, actually. We worked a combined 70 hours. Of that, just over 60 hours was actually billable. So meaning we were actually working on money-making tasks. And so that converts to 87% of our team's time was billable, which is a strong efficiency rate. Other things that ChatGPT was able to tell me is that the total value of our work, of that, just over $5,300 was billable. And this represents the gross revenue generated from tracked billable time. Again, for January, we are at about $18,000 of revenue. And so knowing that we already spent on billable time, $5,300, is huge and is going to make me pause and really consider what that means in the grand scheme of things. I know our months are, like the first week of each month is really heavy with client work, and then it tapers down as the month goes on. But I want to track that, because if we're talking $5,300 per week and there's 4 weeks in the month, right now we are headed towards a negative bottom line, which has not been happening at all. So again, I'm tracking my time on the client work, and I think that's the biggest piece here that I need to adjust and figure out, and also maybe adjust some of our clients' monthly rates because of it too. So again, all of this data is so extremely telling. Another thing that it was able to tell me is the number of our clients that were actually served or touched this past week. And so of our nearly 50 clients at this time, we touched 17 unique clients. So for me, that's like, oh, that's actually lower than I thought. I thought it'd be at least half of the clients. And so that's, again, something I'm going to want to review and see why we aren't actually working on any of the other clients. Maybe some of them are quarterly. It's something really interesting that I'm going to be able to dig into later. On the team contribution side, I knew this already, but it said Erin did most of the work handling most of the client-facing and internal tasks. That is what I am trying to get away from. I was never a solopreneur. I mean, technically for the first 4 or 5 months I was, and then I brought on my first hire. And I've just been really slow to offload and to delegate. But with this newest hire that we have, the goal is to really lessen all of the work that's been funneling to my plate. And so I'm hopeful that that continues to change, and it also gives me the most active clients by time spent and the taxes that we worked on the most. So surprise, surprise, the number one task was 1099 filing and review because 'tis the season. And then it gives me about 8 other tasks that we worked on, that in order of how many hours were assigned to those tasks. Internal operations. So there was actual tasks related to upkeeping that were tracked and then categorized or grouped by how much time was spent as well. There was high priority deliverables, and there was also an interesting insight on here that says opportunity for SOP creation. It said many repeated tasks. And I love that it says that because that is another piece we've been working on as well. As I'm offloading my work and delegating, I'm recording what I'm doing via Loom, and then I'm sending that to one of our team members. And from that, we're creating an SOP with our note taker, Abacor. So that's creating it. And we're also using Loom to create some of those SOPs as well. And so this is all super insightful, really cool stuff, a really fun way to use the data. Again, I'm becoming obsessed with this. I'm loving the ability to just pull all of this information. Again, I need to go back and make sure that our revenue is where it needs to be, and that our expenses, our billable expenses, are actually truly what this prompt has generated. I want to know if that's correct. And the other piece that was fascinating to me was just the amount of clients that we actually worked on, the 17 unique clients. Again, that seems really low. So that might be another piece that I have a conversation with my team on, because if they work on a client for 2 or 3 minutes, that's well below the 15-minute threshold that I've assigned to making sure we bill some time on. I think all in all, the way that I will be able to use this data week after week will help us to refine how we work and when we work, and help me to make really great decisions on capacity planning, and then also pricing and bringing on new clients and which types of clients we need and we are really good at supporting. So it's a win-win for me. It's a win-win for the upkeeping team, and it's a win-win for our clients too, because we are not overcommitting ourselves. We are paying attention to last touch points. Again, we're building out a KPI for that specific piece of client communication, and that includes actually working within their books. So all of this coming together is just really fun. I think this is where I know I am meant to be as a leader, and not so much in the work, but on the work, and just guiding and making sure that our team and our clients are super supported. So I hope this is really helpful for you. Also, please let me know in the comments if you watch this. I would love to continue doing these. I feel like it's my passion, but I want to make sure it's reaching people, and I want to make sure what I'm saying actually resonates. So let me know. Thank you so much for keeping up with Upkeeping. Bye.